From Studio 3 at Buzz TV, it's The Horse's Mouth with Tom McManus.
All right, time once again for another edition of The Horse's Mouth here on Buzz TV. At Tommy Max, of course, at my bar. Man, you're all welcome at this bar. Brought to you by Heritage Capital Group. We're talking a little branding with my friend Greg Huntington. We're talking a little HR with my new friend Gracie. We're going to talk a little Cold Vixen with Don. And Mac is back. It sounds like a band, doesn't it? Let's meet the band. Greg Huntington is here from WM. What's up, teammates?
It's good to be here,
How
brother.
are you? Look at that grip.
Doing good.
That's that old Penn State BC rivalry.
Right, absolutely.
How you been, man? You were one of the original guests of The Horse's Mouth. Do you remember that?
Yes, probably about 5 years ago.
You do remember?
Yeah, which is interesting. I was one of the original 10 Jaguars.
Whoa.
So I have that on my resume, and then also being one of the original members of The Horse's Mouth.
I gotta say, yeah, it's pretty bad. How you doing, man? Life good?
Doing great.
You guys went through a rebranding.
We did.
Now called WM.
WM, formerly known as Waste Management.
Right.
Waste Management's been around for about 50 years. They just didn't want to be known for just moving around waste. They wanted to also be known for sustainability, which is a hot topic in today's society. And so Waste Management, WM, is the largest sustainability company in North America, which deals with recycling and reusable natural gas. So we went through that rebranding a few years ago. So now it's the WM Phoenix Open that everybody knows about.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. How do you like HR in your company? Do you have any problems with it?
They're great.
Yeah,
believe it or not, I know that HR can vary from company to company, but believe it or not, we talk a lot of trash, and there's a lot of, gray.
Good ribbing.
Yeah, good ribbing, sure.
Good fun.
So everybody that I've worked with in WM has been highly professional and great people. And we don't have some real difficult, stringent HR. We have a good HR department, though.
We got to have HR. Obviously.
You have to have HR, absolutely.
Absolutely. Great to have you on the show.
Yes, sir. Good to be here, brother.
Absolutely. Gracie Hyatt is here from Pivot CPAs, but you handle their HR, don't you?
I do. The fun side of it. I have been there since April.
Okay, very good. So what's your, strategy? How do you get people, you're obviously a very smiley, happy, fun, like everything's great kind of person. I can feel it. But how do you handle that? What's your foundation?
So my biggest thing is creating a good culture within the firm.
Okay.
With accounting, you obviously have the busy season from January to April where you're working long hours.
Yep.
You don't love your job that time of year, if we're being honest.
Sure.
So my goal is to make everyone enjoy the rest of the year. I plan happy hours. I do strategic events with the partners. Like for instance, back in August, all of our partners led different trainings.
Okay.
And then we had a fun day at the end of the week where we all did different events, and then we met at the bar.
Okay.
And then I also do all of the recruiting for the firm, so just kind of bringing in people that have the same values as the rest of the firm.
Okay.
And just creating a good culture.
So HR, party planning, and just good times all around.
I wear a lot of hats within the firm.
Are you from Jayville?
Not originally, but I've been here for 14 years, so technically it counts at
Jaguar
this point.
fan?
Huge. Just went to London.
Did you really?
Yep, I was at that game.
All right, did you go? All right. Did the first one or the second one?
The first one,
All
Falcons
right.
game.
Very cool. Well, great to have you on the show.
Thank you.
Absolutely. All right, Don Smith is back from Cold Vixen. What's up?
Tom, good to see you.
How big's your, you guys are kind of a newer brandish. I know you just hit a big milestone, but what about HR and branding for you, man? You got to have the right. How'd you come up with a name? Let's start with that.
So the name was kind of created by the team that developed the formula. They were looking for something that was COVID adjacent because it's obviously for that specific purpose. And they had gone through a couple of versions of the name, and this was the one that just seemed the punchiest and the most kind of easiest to pronounce and relatively easy to spell, and it looks fairly medical adjacent, right?
Yeah,
it's not Covixlese or something like that.
Simple,
which
but
may have been one of the other.
Same time, is what you're
exactly.
Absolutely. When did you were there a lot of names being considered? That's gonna be tough, like coming up with a name, right?
Yeah, and there are other products out there that also have kind of COVID adjacent names, which is interesting. It kind of can lead to some confusion. And on the branding side, the original packaging that the original inventors had come up with was kind of a basic blue and white, kind of 80s style pharmaceutical looking brand, and we decided we needed to involve some kind of color theory and try to figure out a packaging that was attractive, different from what is on the shelf. So we've got sort of a purple to yellow orange look and feel, which kind of evokes health and wellness.
Okay.
And that was a big part of that that overall branding strategy.
I tell you who's got it down are the craft beer makers. They come up with the greatest names for their beers.
Yeah, they do.
And there's a million of them. Like, they got to keep coming up with new names. It's amazing how they do that. Well, great to have you back on the show. Mac Holley's here. Hey, Mac.
Hey, Tom.
All right, so at Heritage, you're looking for companies, right? Maybe to participate with them. How important is the HR side? And obviously the brand's got to be spot on, right?
Well, certainly HR is important because people are your resources, right? You have people that can keep the culture. Gracie mentioned culture. It's important, onboarding new companies, keeping the culture going. And brand, I mean, you're talking about the goodwill, the value of the brand. I mean, the better the brand, the bigger the brand, the better the value of the company. Very important.
It is very important. When you guys are looking at companies, like, how deep of a dive there can't be any HR problems, right?
No, can't have a lot of HR problems, but it's more about the financial side, the operations. HR is a part of the operations.
I know.
It's very critical,
Yeah. How has HR changed over the years, do you think? I'm going to ask you too, Greg, but how has it changed?
I would say it's shifted a little bit from just being the bad guys who are constantly getting you in trouble. And I feel as though it's kind of shifted to creating a better culture within wherever the workplace is.
Okay.
I feel like it's starting to become more of an open door between HR and the individuals within the company.
Yeah.
People aren't as afraid of HR as they used to be.
Okay.
At least that's the feedback that I've kind of been getting from the other people that work in HR that I know at other companies and things like that. That's kind of the shift that I've noticed.
Right. And when they pass people, they're on their phone, so it's not like they really have to talk to me.
Right, exactly. They don't have to worry about it too much. They're fine.
What do you say to that, Greg?
Yeah, I mean, I think, in the past, HR has always had got a bad reputation, kind of like internal affairs with the police, It's kind of like they're looked as the enemy because they're the one who were policing, let's say, bad behavior.
I didn't say that.
Okay.
I don't believe you, Tom.
But I think that's evolved over the years to where it's not just, and it's important to obviously police behavior that's not appropriate within the workplace, which is always, that too is evolving, what's acceptable and what is not. But now also creating atmospheres or environments that promote team unity and fun things.
Everybody's included, everybody's good, let's work together.
I've seen that.
Team.
Correct.
Yeah.
Really big. And that's how I end all my emails and all my Teams calls and Zoom calls is go team.
All the smart linemen play offense, just for the record. Did you know that? All the defensive linemen just go. Well, you don't have to think about it.
This is true. I'm glad you said it.
I was talking about linebackers, just linemen.
No, I would agree.
Well, great to have you all on. Great. Best of luck, and thanks for being here. Really appreciate it. All right, that'll do it for us this time around. Check them out at iwannabuzz.com. You'll see the profiles. You'll see this conversation and many, many others. So until next time, y'all stay safe out there and be cool. And we'll see you right here on The Horse's Mouth. Cheers.
The team at Heritage Capital Group is special because it's a collection of people across the spectrum.
We have people who have been in the shoes of owners that are looking to buy and sell, and professionals that have executed transactions helping buy and sell companies for decades.
I think when you talk to us, see what our experience is, see what our skills are, see the reach that we have, you'll be very happy with the recommendation.